There are many different forms of art that have existed throughout history. One of the most fascinating art techniques is glass. Glass blowing is an ancient art technique that dates all the way back to the 1st century BC. It involves the gathering of hot glass onto the end of a metal rod. This rod is hollow and has openings on both ends to allow the artist to blow into the glass and shape it. The glass can also be shaped through manipulation of the outside using tweezers and other tools. Glass is very versatile, and glass blowing has continued to exist until modern times. Many exciting things can be made out of glass, from decorative vessels to simple items. Many designers are capable of making wonderfully intricate pieces. Glass blowing is also a part of Ball State University, which houses the Glick Center for Glass on its campus. Glass blowing is an ancient art technique. It was invented in the 1st century BC by Syrian craftsmen. According to the History of Glass Blowing, author unlisted, access June 14, 2021, the Roman Empire encouraged the spread of glass blowing. This encouragement led to it spreading across all of the empire's territory, taking root in places like Egypt, Israel, and many others. In the Middle Ages, Venice, Italy was a major center for glass blowing, though there was one peculiar fact about it. According to A Brief History of Glass Blowing by the website's administrators, published August 20th, 2018, glass blowing techniques were hidden by governments, and glass blowers were essentially kept as prisoners for fear they would spread their knowledge. This is true in Venice. Venetian glass blowers were not allowed to leave the Venetian Republic, and their studios were confined to the island of Murano for fear their secrets would get out. During the Renaissance, glass-blowing knowledge began to spread, thanks in part to the book The Art of Glass by Antonio Neri. This book allowed the knowledge of glass-blowing to spread across Europe and into the Americas. Glass-blowing is practiced across the world today, and many artists make a living creating sculptures out of glass. Glass is extremely versatile. You can make anything you can imagine out of it. These items can be decorative, or they can be simple. You can make functional dishes, such as a cup, or a bowl. You can also make simple decorative items, such as this vase. The versatility of glass allows artists to make a living crafting sculptures. Raven Sky River is an artist whose art can be found on Instagram. Many of his pieces are made in the shape of animals, typically marine animals, with one highlight being turtles. Another artist is Dale Chihuly. An example of his work can be found in the Indianapolis Children's Museum. Titled Fireworks of Glass, this sculpture is 43 feet tall and is made of thousands of pieces of blown and colored glass. Glass pieces can be made more decorative and interesting by the addition of either color or enamel to the outside. Color can be added to a glass piece through the use of frit. Frit is powdered glass. Another way that color can be added to glass is through the use of colored rods. These rods are colored glass that can be heated up and then applied to hot glass. This will change the color from clear to something else. One final way that decoration can be added to glass is through the use of enamel. Enamel is made from finely powdered glass, a binding agent, and a little bit of water. It is then painted to the outside of a finished vessel. The vessel can then be placed in a kiln, where it will be heated so the enamel will bind to its surface. All of those techniques make glassblowing a lot more fun. Ball State also takes place in the culture of glassblowing, with the Glick Center for Glass being located on campus. According to Ball State's website, author unlisted, access June 15, 2021, Glick was founded in 2011 to support and promote the practice of contemporary glass arts at Ball State University in the East Central Indiana region. The center was named for Marilyn K. Glick, who along with her husband founded the Glick Fund, which paid for the studio's construction. There are many classes for art majors and minors at Glick, ranging from an intro class for those who are just getting into glass, all the way to an advanced class for those who have been practicing the art for several semesters. There are many experienced professors working at Glick, including John Reese and Brent Cole, whom I have learned from personally. There are multiple studios in Glick. One is the Hot Shop, where vessels, both solid and blown, are made from hot glass. A second is the Cold Shop. In the Cold Shop, vessels made in the Hot Shop can be polished or shaped. A final studio in Glick is the Flame Shop. In the Flame Shop, students can make pieces out of neon tubing or other glass tubing. Glick encourages creativity among the students. They are allowed to explore the glass and learn as they go. You can learn many fascinating lessons from just practicing glass. One thing I learned from doing a mold project last semester is that noodles, particularly bow tie pasta, make many fascinating shapes when they are pressed into hot glass. A second thing, it was far less exciting. Burnt pasta smells terrible, and it also makes a huge mess. According to monthlycalendar.com, access June 15, 2021, author unlisted, Glick also sometimes hosts a workshop for the public to learn about glass. This allows people who are not glass students to come in and learn about the material, and maybe even make something. The things one might make at a workshop include things like this paperweight. Glick is one of my favorite places on campus, and I hope more students check it out in the future. Glass blowing is one of the most interesting art styles in existence. It is an ancient art dating all the way back to the Roman Empire. Glass blowing has existed in different places at different times, from ancient Egypt and Palestine all the way to Venice in the Middle Ages. Glass is extremely versatile, with anything you can imagine being made out of it. You can make simple vessels or intricate, realistic animals. The only limits to what you can make with glass are your skill and your imagination. Ball State also takes part in the culture of glass blowing. The Glick Center for Glass is located on campus across from Ball Memorial Hospital. This gives Ball State students the opportunity to explore and discover glass. Glass blowing and glass in general are fascinating topics to study. I am grateful to Ball State University for providing me with this opportunity to learn this style of art.